We need to eat the baby.
I have no respect for women who voted for Trump. Okay, I think so poorly of them, and the reason why.
Hey, welcome back. So I'm in a lot of pain and not feeling well, so we're gonna cut my face out of it. The agency considering 3 Mile Island nuclear debris in Idaho. That's the INAL. I think that was, yeah. The federal authorities want to store the partially melted core from one of the United States' worst nuclear power accidents for another 20 years in Idaho. The U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission said Monday it's considering a request from the U.S. Department of Energy to renew a license to store the radioactive debris from the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant. The core of the reactor south of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, partially melted in 1979. The commission says continuing to store the debris at the Energy Department's 890 square mile site in eastern Idaho, that includes the Idaho National Laboratory, will have no significant impact. The license would be good through 2039, 4 years past an agreement the Energy Department has with Idaho to remove the high-level radioactive waste. Man. I don't know, it was like a couple weeks ago, the INL, something was going on because they had a whole bunch of helicopters and military going that way. Of course, I don't think we'll ever know, but I'll see you guys. Hey, welcome back. Here's an update to this story. The Idaho transgender inmate Adri Edmo to receive pre-surgical procedures after court ruling. If Edmo receives the surgery, she would be only the second person in the county to undergo the process while in prison, and the first in Idaho. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on Thursday partially lifted a pause in the court case so an Idaho transgender inmate could receive all pre-surgical treatments necessary for gender confirmation surgery. That ruling is in response to a motion filed by attorneys for Adri Edmo, 31, a transgender woman who sued the Idaho Department of Correction and its healthcare partner, Corazon Health, after officials did not provide her with gender confirmation surgery, according to the report from the Idaho Press. Edmo has been diagnosed with gender dysphoria, a condition in which the rift between a person's preferred gender and their birth gender is severe, distressing and hurtful. In extreme cases, the disorder is treated through surgery. Edmo is born male and identifies as female. Everyone involved in the case has agreed she has gender dysphoria, a term she did not know until prison staff told her about it in 2012. Edmo, sentenced for sexual abuse of a 15-year-old boy at a house party, has sued the state for not providing her with the surgery, though she has received other treatments. In December, a federal district judge ruled authorities had to provide the surgery for Edmo. The state then appealed the case to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which, in August, made the same finding as the district court. The Ninth Circuit Court placed a stay on the district court's order for the surgery. Edmo's lawyers last month asked the Ninth Circuit Court to partially lift the stay so Edmo could prepare for the surgery. Deborah Ferguson, one of the Edmo's attorneys, told the Idaho Press on Friday that the process can take up to 6 months. On Thursday, the circuit court judges granted that motion and lifted the stay. On Friday, Edmo's attorney filed a motion in the Idaho District Court so that the court can ensure immediate implementation of its order in accordance with the partial lifting of the stay. We are very glad these pre-surgical matters can move forward, Ferguson wrote to the Idaho Press in a message Friday. Governor Brad Little has said he'll take the case to the U.S. Supreme Court. I continue to evaluate this case with my legal counsel and remain committed to appealing it to the U.S. Supreme Court in order to prevent the hard-working taxpayers of Idaho from being forced to pay for a surgery that is not medically necessary, Little wrote in a statement to the Idaho Press on Friday. If Edmo receives the surgery, she would be only the second person in the county to undergo the process while in prison and the first in Idaho. Authorities have estimated 30 inmates live with the condition in Idaho's prison systems. Between October 2016 and August 2017, 3 inmates, 2 who had gender dysphoria and 1 who was living with sexual identification issues, killed themselves at the same facility where Edmund lived. After the Ninth Circuit Court's August ruling, attorneys representing the Idaho Department of Correction and the case's other defendants filed a petition for a rehearing, arguing that the treatment Edmo received was medically acceptable. The Ninth Circuit Court has yet to rule on that motion, though they granted the motion to partially lift the stay so Edmund could undergo pre-surgery procedures. Edmo's attorney have argued she needs the surgery soon because her gender dysphoria is severed and hurting her. She has twice tried to castrate herself while in prison, once in 2015 and once in 2016. Despite Edmo's castration attempts, Dr. Scott Ellison, Corizone's regional psychiatric director who treated Edmo for a time, did not recommend her for gender confirmation surgery. Ellison testified at a 2018 hearing that he did not recommend the surgery because he felt Edmo had other uncontrolled mental health challenges, including depression and alcohol abuse disorder. He also said he did not feel Edmo had adequately lived as a woman for 12 straight months, which is commonly accepted prerequisite for the surgery. In October 2018, Edmo testified about her experience living with gender dysphoria and about her castration attempts, and how she broke the blade out of a disposable razor to use in a second attempt. But I wasn't able to actually sever the testicle because there was too much blood, Edmo said according to the transcript of the hearing. I didn't know there would be that much blood in the area, and I couldn't see any more of what I was cutting, so I abandoned it and got medical help. Leading up to the cutting, Edmo, who felt a sense of gender dysphoria since she was 5 or 6 years old, said she felt a sense of urgency and said she felt like she had to castrate herself. But she knew there were risks involved too. The first time she tried to castrate herself, said she left a note for the prison guard. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really don't care about her trying to cut herself. I don't know if you do. If you do, go to ktvb.com and read the thing yourself. Listen, taxpayers should not pay for your surgery. If you want surgery, pay for your own damn surgery. I don't care if you get surgery, but I don't want to have to pay for it. Listen, if she's in prison for hurting a 15-year-old boy. I say let her castrate herself. She bleeds out, she bleeds out. She gets medical attention, she gets medical attention. But anything she wants, she has to pay for herself, do herself. Not dependent on the taxpayers. I'll see you guys in the next story. Hey, welcome back. So in Pocatello, a high school student was arrested after bringing a stolen pistol onto the bus. A local high school student was arrested late Sunday morning after he reportedly brought a stolen pistol onto a school bus Friday and was showing it off to several students, according to the Pocatello Police Department. The male student is currently incarcerated at the 6th District Juvenile Detention Center in Pocatello and will likely face misdemeanor charges of illegally possessing a firearm or possessing a firearm on school property, as well as a felony grand theft charge, police said. Police would not release the student's age or specify which school district 25 school he attended. Police also did not release the names of minors as a matter of policy. Though the Pocatello Police Department and Pocatello Chubbuck School District 25 released press statements about the incident Monday afternoon, any threat to public safety was resolved within hours of the initial report on Friday, police said. In addition to its press statement, School District 25 also sent a letter to all parents and or guardians Monday informing them of the incident. Police said the student described ways in which he considered using the gun, but made no specific threats. Police would not comment on how the student came into possession of the stolen firearm, whether it was loaded, or who owned the weapon. The incident began to unfold after school was released for the day around 4:30 p.m. Friday, when the Pocatello Police Department received the report that a student was in possession of a firearm while riding a school bus, police said. Students on the bus who saw the gun felt unsafe and reported the incident to school administrators, who promptly notified authorities, police said. The student who allegedly possessed the gun on the bus had already reached his stop and exited the bus by the time the authorities located the bus in question, police said. However, Pocatello police officers were able to identify the student based on eyewitness reports and a review of video footage from the bus, according to School District 25. At approximately 7 p.m. Friday, officers located the handgun inside a Pocatello residence, said police, adding that the male student was not located at the residence with the gun. Police would not provide additional details regarding the recovery of the pistol. After recovering the pistol, police secured a detention order for the male student and issued an alert to all nearby law enforcement agencies to look for the student, police said. Police made contact with the student's mother to inform her to call the police if she were to come into contact with her son, police said. On Saturday, the mother apparently located her son and transported him to the 6th District Juvenile Detention Center. But upon arriving to the center, the male student fled on foot from the parking facility lot, police said. Police searched the area near the Juvenile Detention Center on Saturday, but were unable to locate the male student. Around 11:20 a.m. Sunday, officers with Fort Hall Police Department located the male student on the Fort Hall Indian Reservation, and a Pocatello police officer was dispatched to take the student into custody. The student was subsequently arrested and transported to the Juvenile Detention Center, where he remains incarcerated. Police say the investigation into the incident remains open and ongoing. Pocatello Police Chief Roger Shee on Monday commended the students who came forward to report the incident to school administrators. "We thank the students who contacted school officials about the threat," she said. "The police department takes all complaints of threats to the community very seriously, and we acted immediately to investigate and ensure the safety of the students." The Pocatello Police Department also encourages gun owners to safely secure their firearms. Free gun locks are available for pickup at the Pocatello Police Department, police said. School District 25 said in its letter to parents that in addition to any criminal charges, the student will face serious disciplinary actions at the school district level. School District 25 policy states that any student who brings a weapon to school is subject to expulsion hearings. Ensuring, well, yeah, you get the, oh, whoops. Let's see. Hal continued, "I want to thank those parents and students who provided us with the information necessary to investigate and bring closure to the incident. Please continue to encourage your child to let the teacher or administration know if a situation exists or could ever place him or her and others in danger. Please remind your child, if you see something, say something." The maximum charge for a misdemeanor is up to 6 months in jail and up to $1,000 in fines. If convicted of a felony grand theft charge, the male student faces up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 in fines. Man. Alright, you guys have a good day. Like, subscribe, share, comment, donate, and converse. I'll see you guys later.